Wow, folks. Man, Liberian drum artists, man, they know how to play the drums. Those boys, man. They know how to play the drums, man. They know how to play magic in their hands. Magic. Folks, welcome to the show. Another episode, another edition of Talk TV Media Friday night edition. Here, I'm sitting here comfortably in Green Country, Oklahoma, with a beautiful weather. You know, beautiful weather, man. Wherever you are, you're in Liberia. I know it's dry season time. You all like it over there. It's hot. Those of you who are joining us, welcome to the show. Welcome. Whether you're in Great Britain, London, you're in Europe, Africa, here in America, wherever you are, welcome to the show, folks. A lot to talk about. NEC certificates winners today of 2023 elections. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about U.S. sanctions on Liberian officials, on the city mayor of Liberia, Monrovia, the current city mayor, Jefferson Tambakoji, and more sanctions supposed to be on the way, coming. You know, these are the things we used to talk about. People say, y'all got nothing to talk about. We're just sitting down here talking tabata. Tabata is over. It's time to do real business. But with no further delay, man, let me bring my colleague who's already in the back. On the screen, on the show, a brother from another mother. How you doing, my brother? Can you hear me? You muted. You got on me, I said.
Yes, Sam. I see you. Good evening. Good evening to you. And let me say good evening to all our followers and great members who are keeping this platform awake and making it to be known to many. So it's a pleasure once again to come back on the platform and talk about our own interest, which is Mama Liberia. Thank you.
Mama
it's a pleasure.
Mama Liberia, yes indeed, Mama Liberia. Man, you looking too good. I like that outfit. My man, I know you're just coming from LRB. That shirt that you get on, you must send my own over here.
Okay, okay. Granted.
You look so. I can tell the roots.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. we have to keep it moving wherever we are. Our African traditions and everything, outfit. We got to keep celebrating it.
Sometimes they're worsening modern stuff. I tell you what, I mean that thing you got on that is so comfortable. The
I
shirt
know.
is so you just especially during the dry season time, you just feel so good. If you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
if you can't send my man when the day I swing by London, I will go in your closet. That one I'm going
Uh-huh.
to.
I think, yeah. Granted, granted.
That's it.
Great to
That's
be
it.
here.
All right, folks. So, hey, those of you who are joining us, welcome to the show. On a serious note, we will start serious business. Those who will join us, if they do join us, they have the link. They will join us. But we are here to discuss serious trending events in our country, in Liberia, globally, wherever you are. Today, we saw the certification of a lot of lawmakers in Liberia. We'll discuss that aspect, and of course, we will be discussing this aspect as well. Jefferson Tembakoji and the United States of America, Magnitsky Act is a play, full play, all of that. But a lot of other things we will be talking about. But just these two alone, we will delve into them gradually. We'll take our own time to get into these issues because these are issues of paramount concern. These are issues that will help to clean out the governmental system in Liberia. It will lay the basis and the groundwork so the world will know that Liberia is back, that the government of Joseph Numa Boakai is ready, is not for play, and that they are back. Also, we are seeing a lot of things taking place, scare tactics taking place in the country. People are grouping together. We've seen a lot of threatening remarks, videos online where young people are threatening the security and the peace of the state. Where they say they're going to cause chaos on the day of inauguration. Are you concerned? Is that something that concerns you? Where someone is on video threatening the peace, you know, knocking their hand in their chest and say, we will do it. We'll cause chaos. You know, we're government officials, people who work for the CDC, people who man the jail halls, holding press conferences on party headquarters of the CDC saying that they don't recognize Joseph Numa Boakai as their president, even though he was democratically elected. These are some of the things we want to talk about. So far, trending from my end, comrade. That's it. Anything on your list?
Uh, yeah. I mean, a lot trending, like you say. You just said a lot trending, especially when it comes to our country, Liberia. I'm following this development today. Finally, the case of the outgoing Speaker of the House, Buffett Chambers, was dismissed. You know, during the elections, after the elections, uh, somebody won him in his district, and so he lost the senatorial seat. But then he actually, filed in a complaint to
Right.
the National Elections Commission that he wanted a recount. And so this case was put on the docket, even though a pronouncement was made that a young man won the election. And finally, today, now the court dismissed the case that they have, nothing to actually look into. The fellow won the election, free and fair. And another one is the House again, over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
have declared the finance minister of the Republic of Liberia, Samuel Troy, wanted or to be arrested, because again, according to them, he have disrespected them again. But this guy, over the years since he been there, has been doing this. Unfortunately, uh, no appropriate actions, have been taken against him. So obviously, he feels that he has the power and he can exercise that power and get away with it. So that's another story that's trending. I don't know when
My man,
they are going to.
that whole Samuel Twenty, my man. what kind of man is it undermining the power of the legislature? Do you think it's a toothless bulldog, the legislature, and there's nothing they could do to Samuel Toy, that is what's causing that he undermines it, can report, on many citations and stuff? I just wanted to kind of just talk about that a little bit. And welcome, Joseph Dolo. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. And good evening to uh, you, CEO, and good evening to our viewers and people across the world.
All right. So you think, what is he able to do? Even if he shows up, what can he do? Samuel Toy, they're all baffled. They're all frustrated. They're all trying to catch their heels right now because they were of the firm conviction and hope that they were going to win the elections. So they were
Yeah, of
so
course.
overconfident, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So
It,
now they're trying to cover up a lot of things. Remember the finance ministry, I think third floor when it caught on fire. Do you remember that?
yeah.
And that's one incident where I think they were run away with, as in a lot of documentation were destroyed, so no way to show give documentation or accountability, all of that stuff. What do you
No.
think? 'Cause that thing was not just ordinary stuff.
No, it wasn't. But the thing here is that I don't, like you said, you put it quite rightly. I don't blame him. I blame the rest of the guys that are in the house, who are not champion for their people, but always championing cause or push their own agenda for their own benefit and their family members' benefit. So because of that, this man continued to disrespect them, unfortunately, to declare him again, wanted, and he should be arrested anywhere, whatsoever. To me, over and over again, eh, something they've been doing that, and we haven't seen anything going on. And on the issue of the office that got burned, actually, my well, my sources told me that that office was, very significant in terms of documentation, and
Mm,
so for it to have gotten gutted by fire, and documents being burned to ashes. But I mean, it's not anything that he can get away with it anyway, Sam. Because once the new government happened to launch investigation into all of the cases that are on the docket, including that, it can be investigated. We can find out from him as to what sort of documentation got burned and thing. We need our account. I know definitely he himself told us that
right.
when he went there, when he went there, he digitalized a lot of important stuff. That's why he created even the electronic stamp. You remember once upon a time he said that even if he's not in the country, somebody can
Yeah, I remember
sign.
that. Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so obviously, I mean, we can get hold of the documentation, because even if you burn the computers that are there, so long it is in the system, is a
Send it
software or
down.
so,
Yeah.
you can be somewhere in different part of the world, you can access it. So he's not going to get away with it. And just before I close, the outgoing World Bank in our country, the country director actually told us today, and also encouraged us that we have to sustain the gain we have made since after the war for peace. Other than that, he foresee Liberia, going into another dungeon wherein, I mean, we will be running here to scatter and same, and that actually connect me with the young people of today. And that video you're talking about, which of course I'm sure you're going to play later, it baffled me to see young people being used in this way. And I keep advising them. Uh, Look, the future is in your own hands. By the virtue of the Almighty God protecting you, the next person they are responsible for your future is yourself.
Right. Right.
Today, you think that you can use the social media to get away with, to say whatever you want to say and do whatever you want to do. You think you're going to get away with it. You won't get away with it. There are people who are taking records. There are nations who are taking records of you and saying, tomorrow it will haunt you. Yeah, my brother today, Jefferson, that's it. I mean, how many times? I mean, some of us never talk to him, to not
Jefferson, are your brother?
Oh yeah, he's my brother. I can admit this on the platform because not because of
I didn't know
the
that. Wow. So all
uh,
this time, man, y'all can't get a man good advice over there.
that's why I'm telling you. I have never ever one day kept my mouth shut. Not only Jefferson, McGill, not even this evening. McGill and myself was chatting on WhatsApp. I talk, I advise. I would see things because I've been hearing things even before it happened because of my proximity to the political and human rights advisor at the U.S. Embassy and the UK Embassy, and of course ECOWAS. So sometimes I hear things and I say, brother, they think, hey, that's something you need to do, you need to work with. So obviously, he's one of those guys that actually have, brainwashed a lot of young people, and these young people, have this, have taken him to be their God, small God, their God, and also to do whatever he sent them to do. That's what happened. But not
Okay.
knowing
Okay.
that
We'll
they
get
are
there.
actually
We'll get
putting
to
him in
that.
the
We'll
future
get
as
to
well.
that. Well, I just wanted to make sure, clarify that. We'll get to
Yeah.
that coachy stuff because we have a lot of information, especially with what came out today from the State Department. We'll discuss that entire full statement as well. But folks, those of you who are watching us online, welcome to the show. This is late night, especially for those of you who are in Liberia. It's after 11 going to 12 p.m. Don't mind some of us here. Some of us, it's after 5 o'clock p.m. for me. So you see the difference? And Joseph Dolo, when you mommy, you and I will be here all night. Why 1 a.m., 2 a.m. your time? But what's going on from your
Yeah.
end over there in Magibi? What's going on? What's trending? What's going on over
Well, from my Gibi, it's not very hot here, but people that were, let's say, putting mouth on Nathaniel Mangil, he was finally certificated as senior senator for the county today at the Ellie Johnson Ministerial Complex. So that's the argument between the supporters of McGill and that other citizens that are against McGill, calling him sanction senator, calling him, let's say, criminal, all out of name. But people are saying that McGill uh, does not deserve to be a senator of the county. But uh, NEC finally certificated him today, and all of, let's say, representatives of the county, the five electoral districts.
there? Okay. Yeah, and that is, you're quite right about that. We want us to actually talk into that before we get into this, since we already have that on the screen. And
Mm,
these are the photos. This is what happened today at the ministerial complex in Monrovia for our viewers. And it look. Can you imagine? Do you guys recognize most of those guys over there? You see that's Prince Johnson, right?
yeah, I'm seeing Prince Johnson. Uh, I'm seeing.
The man being
I,
certificated and he's sleeping. I don't understand. you know.
yeah,
And Momo Taylor, I don't know, Momo Cyrus, or I don't know, that is Momo Cyrus, the guy from Lofa in a white there with a cap, black cap. Most of these guys, I gotta take in my time to get to know uh our lawmakers. That's Sir Joseph. Then you see Thomas Fala and the other guys over there, right? All of those guys. A
yeah,
lot of lawmakers
the
today was certificated, you
yeah.
know.
Even Johnny Boy from Bon County.
And so
Johnny, I'm
the
seeing.
guy the guy you were talking about, that's Nathaniel McGill right there, right?
Yeah, McGill.
That's the whole. It almost looks like that's the whole CDC front row there.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is very, very important. I have a very good question coming from Max. Um, when you see the lights like Thomas Fowler, you see right behind you see McGill, and based on what there you go, there you go, there they are. They all happy today. You know, they are officially representatives and senators for the 55th legislature that's coming up. If you look at people like McGill and the three people that were indicted under the George Weah led government, the justice, was it a justice minister?
Oh no, Antony no, the Freeport, the former Freeport manager Bill Traore,
Yeah, Bill
and the
Traore.
former Solicitor General Sabina Cephas.
Yeah, Cephas and McGill. It
Yeah.
was the act of the Meninsky Act, the same thing that came
Yeah.
up today, right? That
Yeah,
indicted
yeah,
them.
yeah.
But these guys, unlike McGill, has been elected as representative. Do you think, because we see the same thing is happening now with Koji, right? Now that McGill has been elected, how effective is the sanction that was brought up? How effective is it? Could it have any impact on his election for him to relinquish his position as Senator of Magibi? Max.
Well, look, and this is it when this incident took place in August of 2022, and then the guys were giving this big hit on their backs. Even took President Weir sometimes to even get them off from the government publicly. Even though my understanding was that even though they were taking off publicly, but they were in the back, more of working for the government.
Right.
The condemnation came from all over that yes, they should be treated as common citizens and they should be questioned by the state also. We saw people, especially in my Gibby County, later on when he actually, decided to run for the polls. People, some group came up because we had two groups there now who were actually supporting him and those that were against his request to becoming a lawmaker for them.
Mhm.
And in the response from the U.S. state, from the United States government, I still remember, they only told the people of Magibie and Liberians as well that anybody who will do business with any of these guys, it means that the U.S. government won't do business with you because you are in support of somebody who has been criminally charged or so. And they went further to say that they don't have the right to intervene in the political uh, process of Liberia. It left with the Liberian people if they feel that these guys, if they stand up to run for elections, they can vote them. Then it's left with them. But United States government would not intervene to say they shouldn't run or they should stop them from running. No,
Right.
what they
Right.
have done, what they have done their due diligence, like they have been doing in many other countries as well. Where in fact some other countries they have sanctioned the whole country, a government and thing. In our case, at least it was selective sanction that came in, and so obviously it is the people now that actually gave Magio the power. And I can remember once upon a time, I told him that was pretty close or during campaign time. I told him quite frankly, I said, "Be better. I think this post here doesn't fit you because of what hanging behind you. You are you are going in there to actually be an advocate for your people, to make sure that indeed the money that's supposed to go to your people should go to them. But because of your tinted characters, I'm not quite sure whether you are going to manage that well." And he said, "My man, and people can change and think. And even that case, I don't believe that case. That case, like American people just hate me and think. And we just left it like that. So I mean, Sam, it is the people of Magibi County that should be blamed for this. I don't blame him. He spent his money. I thought in fact much better than what they were saying then, because I used to be on Classic FM most of the time. Emmanuel used to call me, and then I participate, and I would talk to the people there. I share my
But
thoughts with
don't you?
them.
But Max though, and also you too. You can come in later, Dolo. Don't you think this will hamper the growth for Magibians? Because as a lawmaker, as a sitting senator, you want to make sure you have all the international connections to be able to harness the developmental progress, for your county, where you have the national international connections. But he's been banned from traveling. He can't travel, and
Mhm.
there are a lot of restrictions on him
Yeah.
as a senator. So don't you think that will impede, it will stifle or tie a hand in order that he will not, the things that he want to do for the people of Maggie, he will not be able to successfully do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, in that, quite frankly, I agree with you, because that's why the American government gave warnings at the early stage and say anybody that will do business with these people, it means that we can do business with you. So
Right.
if you are doing business with us, then it means we are going to get you off our backs or so. So that includes even the help that USAID can give. Your tax money, your taxes that you
Mhm.
pay to the US government, and they take some of that money, they send to Liberia through USAID, they distribute, and to other places, whether the school or hospitals and things. That money now, the help that you say used to actually send to my Gibi directly, that will also be questionable now, because why? They will feel that, I mean, at the end of the day, they have to go through the lawmaker who representing them.
Right.
Now, if that lawmaker, they have said a long time that they are not willing to work with that lawmaker. So obviously USAID isn't going to do any business with them. That's the business we're talking about here. So obviously I agree with you. Magibi rigs have put themselves in a serious risks. Yeah, this man will not even travel. Even he'll be afraid to even go to ECOWAS
Right.
meetings as well, because obviously, well, we know what happened to Chancellor. Chancellor was arrested and taken somewhere else and things. So obviously, majority of them tomorrow, if you don't even know right now that there's a serious case behind him, and the rest of the two are the ECOWAS code. So obviously, if arrest warrant will be instituted through Interpol tomorrow, they can be arrested anywhere other than
Yeah.
Liberia. So the Magibi actually is have risked a lot.
So Joseph, how do you feel? Those of you guys who are there, how do you feel having a senator representing Magibi, but the senator can't travel out of Liberia to go anywhere because America with sanctions hanging over his head? How do you guys feel? You think he's going to make any big impact in the county?
Well, we don't actually know what will happen next because the senator cannot travel to the US, and we don't know how he's going to do his work. But we can conclude for now. Yeah, actually, we can conclude for now because censuring you and then you contesting for senatorial position within the county, we don't know what will happen next. But we trust in God. Yeah. We don't know what will
Y'all
actually
can't keep trusting in God. You know the evidence was there. It was there. I mean, clear, caught. So, and I trust in God business your inside. They kind of hold your boy. You're saying, and I go
Be-
trust in business.
Besides that, CEO, look, I was on the radio in Magibi almost every week, and I was educating these people. I was passing the messages from the US embassy direct to them. I was passing the message from the UK government direct to them. When I hear it, I will share it. I'll call on our radio, I'll share it. You want to vote for them? I said, man, I'm my own people here. But they may want to vote for him. When you vote for him, you'll get penalty to lose. There's nothing to say. Let's sit down and watch. It's clear. Yes,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just said
So
that.
we we just
Yes,
have
I
to
just
sit
said
and watch. Yeah.
yeah. Yes, I just said that. We all what he's doing. Except we come later on. We actually audit him, but he has a strong connection in the states that he been using. He can travel anytime and come.
Yeah,
Today,
yeah, and that connection has really been helping him.
It happened him and he elevated him. So right now, if any bomb happened to fall on Sir Joseph, he himself would be the same. Especially he came to out to America. You remember what perhaps you didn't witness the war or so, but when Chancellor came to power, and after that he was arrested. And one of the interviews, the last interview he had, they asked him, what is the greatest disappointment that you ever had? He said, and I quote, my greatest disappointment is not giving America the attention that they needed to have from me. And no leader in Liberia will survive. Will work for your people. Clearly, if America does not back you.
It's clear. It's clear though. That is, except we have a leader who is an idiot, right? Or who is in complete denial. But when you become a leader, Liberian president or Liberian leader, it is just prudent to have a good relationship with America. If America is not behind you, you're in trouble. And when you are in trouble, your people are in trouble. Your people will struggle. They will suffer. Your administration will suffer. That's the fact.
Yeah, that's it.
Because that connection has been there from day one, since 1847. It's been there. So as a leader, and that's why, when I see the just elected president to be Ambassador Boakai, he has that connection with Uncle Sam. He has that connection with America. He knows the diplomatic sector, how to work in the inner working of America in a diplomacy area. He knows, and he's talking to them. He's talking to them. He understands that. And he's willing to bring them on board. So y'all can't help me. The people there, too much is at risk. I need your help. And with America being there just to make sure that, the system is free, fair, the people, the natural resources of the country are being equitably distributed, that corruption is being dealt with, that harassment and intimidation, indiscriminate killings, secret killings, all of those things that they are charging or Koji for today.
Yeah.
That the society will not experience those kinds of things. Uncle Sam has to be on board.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Sam has to be on board. It's just like those British countries that were colonized by UK. They look up to them. French-speaking countries, they look up to them. America, Liberia, the same thing. Remember the days they used to call Liberia the smallest United States country in Africa? The smallest United States country in Africa, where people have to travel, from other countries to Liberia, to fly out of Liberia to the US, to even get visas and stuff, using the access to the US dollar currency. Easy, all of that stuff. But let's go to the biggest news that is buzzing around today, which has to do with the current city mayor. And my own headline is, why is city mayor Jefferson Koji on the sanctions list? Right. So it's news. When we woke up this morning, it's out there. It's hitting the international wires and the local wires. U.S. I have to remove this off the list, so we can read it better. Okay. U.S. Treasury Department designates Mayor of Monrovia Jefferson Koji for human rights abuses and corruption. U.S. mission. So this is it, and that's. I don't know if we can all read it. Probably we should be able to read it. Yeah. If not, I have it here right on my computer. I can read it from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be able to read it from here. And I just want us to be able to go through this piece by piece, piece by piece. Today, the U.S. Department of the Treasury Office of Foreign Asset Control, OFAC, designated Jefferson Koji, who is the mayor of Monrovia, Liberia, and is a senior leader in the Congress for Democratic Change political party. Koji has a reputation for stoking violence. That's one word, stoking violence, and has a powerful grip on Monrovia's youth. powerful grip on Monrovia's youth. Wow. Where am I? Yeah. He controls paramilitary style organizations associated with the CDC, which allegedly recruits former combatants and recently released prisoners. Let me stop there. What do you think about that? Let's just analyze that piece by piece, because this is grave. This is grave. Just that one paragraph I just read, it's shocking. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is scary. It is concerning, but these are signs that we saw before, and then it happened. We have been seeing and we have been hearing as well. Sam, some people even use the camera and say quite friendly that this thing that happening. It is Jefferson Kochi, and in most of the cases, if not all of them, Jefferson Koichi name will come in and say, he knows about it and thing. So, I mean, quite frankly, the allegation against him, I mean, it is, in the Liberian community, it is proving that, yes, it is right.
Yeah, but I think it was you or one of my colleagues that discussed this. And our old people have this saying that I used to say when we were growing up. When you're in a small town, in a small village, every time somebody go get missing, they say that I bought. Somebody, all my chicken get missing. They say that I bought. The puppy rooster get missing. They say that I bought. It has some sort of truth attached to it.
Oh, yeah.
It has some sort of truth attached to it. And this is what's been happening for the past 6 years in Liberia.
Yeah.
Anything bad that happens, they say Jefferson Kochi has some sort of hand into it.
Yeah.
He's aligned to it somewhere, somehow. These are some of the things. So he has, number one, when America is bringing an issue, they have gone in depth to gather evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have done their due diligence, background search. They have the evidence before they come up, because they don't want to speak for speaking sake. Like we the Liberian and can talk like that. We can talk for talking sake.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not so like that with America. This is where they are describing him as one who has a reputation for stoking violence. Meaning he sit down, he put people in front to go cause trouble, and he himself sit down and watch it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You remember when we were growing up, how our big brother, when they want your foot, they go take your hair. They go put it on your front hair.
Yeah.
And they're standing by and I say, my man, the man get your hair, go get your hair.
Yeah.
Then now you're throwing a BT, you're fighting. Why they standing? But what America is doing is, it's not just the people that fought, but the architects of that fight. They are the main one who are guilty.
That's it.
They are the main people, the perpetrators of the act. So he controls paramilitary style organizations associated with the CDC, which allegedly recruits former combatants and recently released prisoners. OFAC has reason to believe that Kochi has instructed these organizations to violently disrupt demonstrations conducted by government critics or political opposition. Kochi and his supporters have been involved in violence in connection with an opposition rally in July 2022. That one evidence there. You see, you and I just talked about evidence.
Yeah.
That's one evidence. And Americans are very detailed. So it's left with you now to go to July 2022 and go find out what happened during that time.
Yeah.
So number two, students attending a memorial service for former Liberian President Amos Sawyer in March of 2022 as well. That's another aspect. Number two. Number three, an anti-rape protest in August 2020 a student graduation ceremony.
And we the one there. That's a protest that actually organized against rape and gender-based violence. They flocked us that day. I mean, a lot of people came out, but they end up disrupting it.
Wow. The anti-rape protest in August of 2020.
That's it.
That's one aspect. And then a student graduation ceremony in December of 2019. That's another evidence. And an opposition rally in November 2018.
Yeah.
Koji has also engaged in corrupt acts, including bribery and misappropriation of state assets for use by private political movements and pressuring anti-corruption investigators to halt corruption investigations. That, my man, I don't know how to talk about, but that's a lot right there to talk about. You know, that's instigation right there, wherein you are instigating, you know, you're stopping investigations.
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge on his back, Sam. These allegations and these crimes that they have put on your head. I don't know how you're going to defend them, but obviously, these are huge. And like in the Liberian community, to be honest, in the Liberian community, people who can remember these dates will tell you that indeed Jefferson Koji hands were inside. If he never ever was at the forefront of it, he was in the back supporting with cash, with voice and everything. So
but look at this. There's Joseph Yogo. I wanted to emphasize this, Max. This last phrase I just read, right? Wherein Koji has also engaged in corrupt acts, including bribery and misappropriation of state assets for use by private political movements. And this last one, and pressuring anti-corruption investigators to halt corruption investigations. You know, is that one anti-corruption investigators to halt corruption investigators? This, my mind goes to the 6 auditors. My mind goes to the 6 auditors because those were investigations that were being done, and they were instigated, you know, and stopped, that led to the death of the 6 auditors.
Yeah.
So could Koji hand be inside it too?
No, but I mean, the thing here is that the CCTV camera was on him, and majority of them, the United States government CCTV camera has been on them since they took power. And this thing where they mentioned the misappropriation of state assets, accountability of our resources, whether you know the timbers they are cutting down the logs and seeing the business is doing, whether the money is coming to us. He is also aware that the money is not coming in the national coffers as well. The gold and diamonds that have been sold, you know, or been, you know, mined in Liberia, going out of the country like that with no benefit to the Liberian people. So these are some of the state assets they're talking about and things. So there's nothing to joke about. I mean, if these people are collecting taxes, you know, taking money from you, Sam, and the rest of the people, so that you can pay the taxes, so they can be able to help countries like Liberia. If they are still sending money and they are even subsidizing our national budget,
right?
Why would anybody go, you know, and start misusing the little that you're harvesting from your own, the one that God bless you with? You can't bless your own people with it. So the people are angry. So the CCTV, I mean, camera.
And just to even stay on those assets, then Dolo, you're coming. You know, as you were talking about the assets, it helps me. My mind took me to Lofa, where our national forest was being, you know, destroyed and taken advantage of. You know, but even our own lawmaker, Thomas Fowler. You know, could this be that now that it's Ken One Koji? Do you think? Because what people don't realize is this, that George Weah, instead of enabling or empowering institutions under his rule. He did not do that. He empowered individuals. And so by empowering individuals, those individuals became so powerful, right? That when they speak, people listen. So people had to go to them to beg them for food, to beg them for handouts, because those individuals became institutions. So because they were accountable to him. Instead of empowering and institutionalizing viable institutions that, those institutions can be strengthened, he instead went ahead to empower individuals that are loyal to him, that can be accountable to him, that he can control.
Yeah. And that is why the international community, including the United States of America, actually labeled their government to be a kleptocratic government, form of government. And that's exactly how they were behaving. Bunch of corrupt individuals, bunch of individuals who have no concern for their people, no love for the children of Liberia, and don't even care about the healthcare system. So they were only looking at things. So, I mean, this sanction, for me, I welcomed it. In fact, it's belated. And not just now, basically, some of us been pushing behind this selected sanction on the back of the U.S. Government representative in Liberia at the embassy there. So obviously, not only him, before even the inauguration, some more names will be coming up.
What do you say? What do you say with regards to everything that we've said so far, Joseph? What's your take?
Well, I'm actually sitting, watching, listening to the both of you. You all spoke lengthily. Uh, what
Now,
are
now,
you
now,
guys?
now you get it flow now. Can't speak now. Same we spoke all that time. I own no time now.
Yeah.
Speak.
So I've been observing the both of you. Now, when it comes to the sanctioning of uh Mayor Koji, the the United States government, they are not actually wrong, because we have sat, let's say we been watching him, and the US also been watching him. So fact and evidences are coming out pertaining to his attribute, I mean his behavior towards the youth of this country. Because I read the document, and then the US government said that he been in the act of let's say uh, leading youth of Montserrat, let's say Monrovia, to violence, and which of course the video that you play, it that's not the video that you play, but I watch on Spoon Network. Has watched some of the videos. Yeah, I was actually following the Spoon talk before this particular show start, and I'm currently relaying the Spoon talk on the radio. As you can
Yeah, but
see,
we're not
I'm
talking
actually
spoon here
listening.
now. Now we're talking talk TV. What your
Yeah, yeah,
observations
yeah, yeah,
about the
yeah.
whole
So
session?
So I've actually watched some of those videos pertaining to his character. These are some fact and evidences that are coming out towards him. So now the embassy, let's say the U.S. Uh, government are saying that the sanction just start Monday. Names of some of our officials of this country will be coming out.
Good. Well, that
So
is clear. And right here, you're right about that. We have someone who is in the inner circle as well. Max is
yeah.
aware of what's going on, and I think this is just the beginning. I'm of the firm conviction as well that there are more names yet to come out. That this is just a starting point. Because there's so much, and I think the U.S. is just waiting for the Joseph Numa Boakai government to take a seat, and a lot will be done. And this is not wish hunting. I don't call this wish hunting. This is telling people that when you are put into government position, you should count it as a blessing, because it's not your power farm, it's not your mouth farm. You count it because you're being elected or selected to serve your people. You become a servant. A true servant is what you should become. as in sitting on the people's back like a hawk, like an eagle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, when you see Yeke Kolba, I don't like Yeke for the fact that, the profound languages that comes out of his mouth, the profanity of it. But a lot of what he says, I know it's out of anger and stuff, but he speaks a lot of truth. He used to kick against a lot of this stuff that used to take place.
Yeah.
Yeke Kolba, right? Because when you look at all the acts of these guys, or Bill Traore that you talked about, the Nathaniel McGill's, Max. This is the Magnitsky Act. What is it about? The Global Magnitsky, building upon the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act, right, was issued on December 20th, 2017 in recognition that the prevalence of human rights abuse and corruption that have their source in whole or in substantial part outside the United States had reached such scope and gravity as to threaten the stability of international political and economic systems. Human right abuse and corruption undermine the values that form an essential foundation of stable, secure, and functioning societies, having devastating impacts on individuals, weakening democratic institutions, degrade the rule of law, perpetuate violent conflicts, facilitate the activities of dangerous persons, and undermine economic markets. This is what it's about. The United States seeks to impose tangible and significant consequences on those who commit serious human rights abuse or engage in corruption, as well as to protect the financial system of the United States for abuse by these same persons.
Yeah.
This is the Magnitsky Act. This is the summary of the Magnitsky Act.
Yeah.
Do you see what it's talking about? This is exactly. I'll give you the floor. Elaborate.
And that's exactly what I was just telling you, you and our listeners, that the United States government continue to fund our government. I was there, throughout 2020, 2021, and as you know, I regularly in Liberia. And I can remember even last year when the Speaker of the House, or the outgoing Speaker of the House, Buffett Chambers, once upon a time had a press conference. And this man was brave to openly beg the United States government, to the embassy there, to help support our budget by giving us money. Yes, they've been doing. Yeah, even though they do not community been doing it, but not to that extent where somebody will come and beg that without you giving us money, we ain't get money. We ain't able to raise money for our budget. That was so shameful. To me, it was so shameful. Right. Now, people have been going, beside the USAID projects in Liberia, but personally, the United States government been sending money to us, direct to government or so. I don't know for US government, but yes, the state used to give us money. Now, the money is coming from taxpayers, man. Come on, of the United States. It's coming from you people, you that's sitting right there. Your taxes that you pay is, you feel fine. In fact, when you hear that United States government gave money to Liberia, you feel fine because your taxes are in there.
That's true.
So you want that money to be used for the intended purpose. But for it to have been going in the hands or in the pockets of individuals, the people will feel angry. The people have the right to get angry. The people have the right to take steps and to see whether the step they will take, somebody else will be afraid to do it also. And that's why I can see that in the next government, I am confident that this thing about Global Magnitsky Act will not fall on Liberia anymore, or government officials, because even the standard bearer or the president-elect have been warning, if you want to work in this government, then have integrity right before you.
Right.
Integrity should be right up in front of you. It shouldn't be behind. No way, you can't give excuse if I knew. So obviously, those warnings are serious warnings that whoever is going to get job in the incoming government, these things will be reminding them as well. And when you do it tomorrow, you're not only making your country shame and your government shame, but you yourself, you will be in a very serious trouble. So obviously, I think the cleaning up of Liberia have started, and this government coming now will actually clean this country and they will put the country back on track.
Wow. Joseph,
Yeah,
you got your 1 minute.
yeah. So I've read the act, and so our officials of this country, most especially those guys that are on the top level, they have to be actually careful when it comes to their movement and also their governmental activities when it comes to their works within in the country, because the war is watching them when it comes to uh, how they are working in this country and also across the country. This Liberia issue is not only belong to Liberians, because if you're working, you got to work for your name as an let's say as a human being. You got to get legacy. So when you are actually working, you got to work for your legacy. Now, today is Koji. Tomorrow it may be tomorrow it may be some of those uh, uh, guys that are out there. So this is just the beginning, as I elder stated. This is just the beginning. So now we gotta be very, very, very careful. The USA is our mother, and besides the US, we have other countries around us. We're not only doing things because of let's say because of this country. Yeah, actually working for
You're breaking
legacy.
out,
Number
man.
one,
Okay.
number two, we have to. You get me?
Yeah, slowly. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, we are working for a legacy. We are working. The world is watching us, because we will not only stay in this country. We were. This is the home that we was born in, and we cannot be deported from. But we can be deported from another country around us. Yeah. So now, if you're working as a Liberian, you gotta you gotta look. You gotta put the mirror in front of you. You view yourself within the mirror. Now, what I'm simply trying to say, if you are working, you got to know that people across are looking at you. Yeah. So I have more to
So
say,
so
but I just
that's
got to
good.
stop right here.
That's
And
good.
then,
So I want to go back. I want to take us back to this, right? Because I really want us to take this. This is something very, very grave. Something very serious that we really need to delve in. We can't just read it and think it's okay to just read,
and and
right?
and and,
Uh,
and Sam, can you imagine thing that happened 2019, 2018? Like people just got to know.
no, it's not that people just got to know. America's been logging everything,
Yeah,
all the
I
information.
know. America been keeping the record in a record book, but some of us we just got to know.
Okay, so what about what? Is that an- anti-corruption? No, that's not the area. That's not the one I want. Max, I want us to talk about this paramilitary group stuff that the U.S. is talking about here, as in Koji is in. He's one of the. He's one who controls the paramilitary style organization associated with the CDC, with allegedly recruiting former combatants and recently releasing prisoners. Releasing prisoners, right? This is very grievous. And this is why there has been some sort of fear, looming over the city. People are afraid and stuff. And most of the things, another thing I want us to take a retrospective look. Many press
especially
conferences.
this Christmas season. Seriously, they want to spoil Christmas for us.
In many press conferences, right? When you used to watch Koji, most of his remarks can be very threatening in his press conferences. He's like, we're coming for you. This government is not for mess. This, that. The way he spoke, more or less, he forego his elected or appointed responsibility to run the city, to clean the city, to have a clean sanitation in the city, and he was more or less running party affairs and running police job, policing the city. Do you think that he understood the magnitude of his position as city mayor, one of the youngest city mayors of the country? Can you imagine?
Never.
Do you think he understood the importance of that position?
No. See, no. To answer your question, quite frankly, I would say no. He's my own brother, but I would say no. Uh, Accidentally, he was put in that position to actually reward him for perhaps the work he did for the CDC or so. But that was an accidental appointment that was made by President Weir. And it's so unfortunate that, the position before or just before Samuel Doe took over, it used to be an elected position. Constitutionally, it's an elected position. But since the guys came and revised the constitution, the military government,
Mm-hmm.
everything have changed. And for me, it's one of those that still pushing governments. Started with President Ellen Johnson study government, where submitted a roll of paper and submitted and think even the George Weah government as well, that appointment of city mayors to stop, let them be elected by the people or so. But in a nutshell, this young man, you know, came in accidentally, but then at the same time as well, he wasn't prepared. He wasn't well equipped. He didn't know the job of a city mayor. Perhaps he never even read the city ordinance, the rules and regulations of how to manage the city or so. But he thought that it was just a position that yes, there's money there, and a position for you to just show off as a young man. You saw at the very beginning, had it not been because we put more on him, this guy was just in a goosey every day. He was just in goals and things. He was just bluffing all around. And then he started to make himself feel like he's a king of Morovia, and thing, and which of course was wrong. And because he also refused to listen to pieces of advice for some of us who could reach out to him, he started misbehaving. He started using excessive power, not even power he was using, but excessive power he was using, which was which wasn't right for him. Unfortunately, even the city police of Monrovia, some of them, at a certain point, I used to be in Monrovia, I see them behaving like they are even above the Liberian National Police. And
Yeah,
all,
I actually do believe that even the police were to some extent afraid of Koji and
of course,
his
of
guys.
course, of course, because of him, because of the utterances, like what you just said, the utterances he used to make, and threatening people and threatening, and because he thought that even George Weah was even afraid of him, that which of course I can say George President Weah was afraid of him or is afraid of him, and so because of that, they both, just thought that he was untouchable, and he decided to do anything that he wants to do. He will say anything that he wants to say. Even the Justice Ministry won't invite him or so. So all of them, including the Justice Ministry, they all helped to actually damage the little boy. They didn't guide him or so. They didn't, because by virtue of taking actions to tell somebody that what they are doing is wrong, not a punishment like the sanctions stated, that they do this thing not to punish somebody, but to make corrections so that other people can learn from it.
Right,
Uh,
right.
but nobody giving,
That is the true essence of a democratic society.
yeah. So obviously, uh, he never fitted for that position, and that's why he was misusing it, and that's why all of the paramilitary groups and thing, you call how do you call it, militancy and thing. He brought about militancy. You saw our brothers and our sisters in Foya. I got so angry with that with those photos and thing, and I started calling on the radio there and blasting. Why should they be turned into militants? And thing is that a vocational training institution that they have built in Foya for them to learn, also to go back to school after graduation from high school and thing. So they all started. I mean, McGill came up.
Max, not to cut you off. When you look at the militancy of the late Dr. Amos Sawyer days, when you look at the communal wizards, the Tier 1 Gonglos, the late Tom Camaras, when you look at their days, those guys' militancy was not violent. They didn't go to intimidate and cause violence. They,
No,
they stood and spoke on the issues of the day that matters the people in society. They spoke against that.
yeah,
That's what they did. They didn't take to the street to intimidate people and cause
no,
bloodshed and create bloodshed and cause and become so chaotic. The militancy of this government, the young people, has become very, very chaotic,
violent. Yeah,
ruthless. They have taken the law into their own hands, as though there is no law, there's no law enforcement agency in government.
they the the progressives, yes, like you rightly saying, the progressives that time. I mean, the other guys that you named. I mean, they knew that obviously if they happen to bring any political uprising, people will die, and they never wanted to die. They wanted to continue to pursue their political quest, and so obviously that form of militancy they were demonstrating, like you rightly said, was challenging the status quo by
Yeah,
speaking up, by going, and sit down somewhere where the president will come, and then they will protest there also, or they go to the UN and go protest, and think that's how it used to be done. But if you have a bunch of people who will take power, who ever never ever manage their own home, they don't have children in the house, they don't have wife in the house, and they have been living life like that for so many years or so. And I mean, they don't have no job experience. They never even attended any vocational training institution. You finish high school. Some of them didn't even graduate from high school or so. You take a job, a huge job, and you give it to that individual. That individual is only looking after the money.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing else. So obviously, that's why we saw this kleptocratic government performing desperately like this. And unfortunately, it got us in a position that other countries have been laughing at us. But for me, CEO, I am one of those individuals today that is feeling so relief, so relief. It's almost like I was carrying the whole burden of the Republic of Liberia on my head by virtue of the government being in power. Yeah, that's how I feel so relieved that the criminals are finally out. I'm feeling so relieved.
But fast forward though, or take a second guess. Just imagine now if the George Weah government was going to stay in power. What type of Liberia do you ever envision for the next 6 years? What type of
Chaotic,
Liberia?
chaotic form of country, a government that what you're seeing today now, mob justice, will have grown. That once you make an attempt to enter my gate, and I don't know you, or so I should kill you, I should call people to beat on you, and whatsoever. Mob justice will have continued. In fact, corruption, forget it. I mean, in terms of even hospitals to attend to you or so, nobody would have been in hospitals to attend to you or so. I would have seen we would have seen or witnessed a state that would have failed massively, and
Hmm.
the people would have been turning on each other. I mean, anger was growing every day, man. My anger was growing. Sometimes you even tell somebody hello, they want to question you. Why you telling me hello? And thing, you gave me food last night before you telling me hello.
But
And thing,
the fear that you're walking in the street with your own cell phone and you scare.
yeah,
And with your own cell phone in your hand, somebody's coming to poke you,
yeah,
open your stomach or say, give it to me.
yeah. I
That
mean,
is scary.
they,
That just happened last week, Saturday, to a young, this gone Monday, to a young lady that I know that, call us over here, and everything was gone, her handbag, cell phone, everything that was inside. There was
welcome.
two guys in a keke, two gentlemen in a keke, and she sat down, she stopped the keke. They got to the bridge. They stopped, and I had to call her. They want to show the knife on this side. They want to show the knife on this side. Told her to give her back. With her cell phone, everything that was inside with money, all was gone.
That's it.
That is the
That
society we're talking about here, trying to clean up here. And
yeah.
people hate us, and people think we are enemies of the state. No, we are not. You are the enemies of the state. We
Those
want a Liberia that is free, that you don't have to worry, that our kids can wander in the street and come home safely. That is the Liberia that we all yearn for. That's what we want.
indeed, indeed.
That's it. That's it. When you look at a video that is circulating today, Max,
Yeah,
online, about a young man who is threatening the peace and the stability of the state, especially with the coming inauguration. There are threatening remarks. I have the full video, but it's too, I don't like it. So I'm just going to play the voice, right? It's not even something because he's using all kinds of,
yeah,
gestures and stuff. I don't
yeah,
want our viewers to see, right?
yeah.
But let me play it so we can just comment about it on it a little bit.
God require you. God require you. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. They say recording. Yes. Let me see if on recording. Okay.
If you're working, is that the work for your needs? This is just the beginning. So now,
What am I
we
saying?
gotta be very.
Oh. That's something else playing in the background. Let me play it.
I'm a Tunisian. Can't know my career. Can't see your photo. Okay. We the one. We can't accident. So I want to call for the fire accident, right? Yeah, I don't want kidding. All right.
You see, this is what we call here in America when you do this, but now this guy's supposed to be apprehended.
Of course.
He's supposed to be apprehended because the
Yeah,
statements that it came out of his mouth alone, with here in the U.S. shootings, lone wolf. These are threats to the state, threats to humanity, threats to people, that are taking place. This guy's supposed to be in the custody of the police, of the law enforcement,
yeah,
because
yeah,
he has threatened the peace, the inauguration and all, that they're
yeah,
going to use vehicles as weapon to run into more crowds
yeah,
and guns because
yeah.
it's a sedition, because Judge, we are lost.
Some,
And he's saying it on live video.
yeah. It's in it with pride and dignity as well, CEO. And it's unfortunate that up to now we can see any story line connecting us to say, well, the state securities of the Republic of Liberia have taken step and against this guy, and or either they declare him wanted or so, or they're asking him to turn himself over or so. It's a shame that we have people in power who's supposed to make sure that Liberia, our country, is well secure, is kept, escaped to the point that everybody should feel should feel secure. That people will come out publicly like this to
Yeah,
confess
yeah,
that that they were right to kill people. Come on, man.
yeah.
When
And
family members,
he is even confessing to the one that just happened at the UP party headquarters,
yeah,
where a vehicle was ran
yeah,
into the partisans of the UP and killed 3 people and wounded so many people. He's even
that-
confessing that he's one of them.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, when you still having parents, they're having sleepless night because they lost their child, they lost their children. Their children are staying in hospital. They are moving here and there. They're struggling to even take food and carry it to the hospital for their child to eat. When you're having these people grieving like this, and you're seeing somebody coming out to confess and say, "I did it. I am the one." Even we are even planning to do more. Then the states you sit there to watch it. The states you sit there to keep their mouth shut. No, in a civilized society, no. By now, this fellow that will be invited by the Liberian National Police, by the NSA, asking him to report himself, or he will be declared wanted by now.
Yeah.
But we have not. I have not seen any press release from the Liberian National Police or Ministry of Justice. Anyway, I have not seen it.
And quote unquote, they say we have a joint security, right?
Yeah.
A joint security that is working. Why is a joint security? Here in America, even when someone threatens the peace or one individual, because the FBI and the CIA, they always, are checking online on social media platforms, these loopholes, where they're communicating anything that is going to cause some sort of chaos. Before they make up, they will track you down.
Track you down.
Because this is what's causing a lot of chaos here. Someone shows up with an AR-15 and kill 15, 20 people and just shoot. So, but how come someone is on a live video? They know who he is. He can be easily apprehended, and he's threatening the day of inauguration.
Yeah, indeed.
The next president of Liberia is going to be chaotic.
Yeah. So this is it, CEO. For me, on this particular case here, I have reached out to the U.S. Embassy. I have reached out to ECOWAS, the UN. I also reached out to the UK government as well. I forwarded the video to all of them, and also. But I want to call on the transitional team, that have been formed by both the outgoing government and the incoming government, to take this video, this guy serious, because whatever plans you are having this plan to have a very smooth transitional turnover, very smooth turnover, and such as what this young man is saying. He may not be alone.
No.
Somebody sent him.
But you already see, based on an indictment today of Jefferson Koji, that more or less these things have been covertly planned. Yeah. Overtly planned, right?
Yeah.
As in the what happened at the UP headquarters that killed all those people. Someone was masterminded and sat behind the scene and said, "Go do it."
Go do it. Yeah.
Yeah. That is the essence of this sanction, because the U.S. investigations understands that truly well. That's something that Jefferson Koji has been doing, and that is why we are not the ones saying it. It is the sanction that's saying it. It's right there. It's
exactly.
Right there. They said Koji has a reputation for stoking violence and has a powerful grip on Monrovia's youth. This is a young man. He's a youth. Stoking violence is someone who instigate and perpetuate everything and set in it back and say, "Y'all go do it."
Yeah. So obviously, whatever this young man is saying as well, it should tell you that boastfully he's saying it. It should tell you that he must be backed by somebody. Somebody is sending him. Somebody is giving him some cash and whatever. By virtue of look, CEO, by virtue of this guy coming out to even confess, man.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I was there. I'm the one that drove over the people. I'm the one that killed those people. Come on. Even if he's not the one, but he must
He
know
should be
something.
reprimanded, even if he's not involved. If he's saying it out of anger, you deal with him that he would never ever say something public like that. He would never ever forget.
So that other people can also learn from that punishment you put upon them. Obviously, he shouldn't go free anyway. He should be apprehended by now. He should be sent to court, charged for threats against the state. That's a threat against the state, irrespective that he's talking directly about the president-elect. But if he having threat against the inauguration day, it is a threat against the state that they are going to even, the car they used the last time to mount over the people, that their car was small, they are going to look for a bigger one that they will kill a lot of people. What kind of country is this?
This is ridiculous. And just for our viewers, we are discussing a lot of trending events taking place today in Liberia. And these are issues that concerns our country, Mama Liberia. These are issues. These are not just bread and butter. Security. You remember when we started discussing the 6 pillars of the Joseph Nima Boaka yesterday, the other day before. I mentioned number 1, security. I have observed security as a number 1 thing that needs to be seriously attended to by Joseph Numa Boaka, by the incoming administration.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, the Boaka administration, I feel, needs to find someone who is not just qualified, but someone who is willing to clamp down on crime and criminals.
Yeah.
And break those cells and those ghettos around town and clamp down on drugs. All of that. These violent behaviors. That's why. But at the same time, find a solution. Those 50 condominiums or whatever that George Weah took, after all the audit and everything, these are government assets. Confiscate, keep them. Take all these people that you're taking from the streets, from the ghettos, and put them inside there, train them, rehabilitate them, and make them productive citizens, and send them back into society. These are the things they should do. They're not just going to go buzz the ghetto and leave them. Like, you don't buzz the ghetto, they're going to create another ghetto somewhere else. You have to be more proactive. You break it down, you find a solution for them and way out.
Yeah.
And I really hope that just the Boaka administration will understand that. But this young man.
Require you. Say again. Say again. They say everybody. Let me see. Recording there. Okay. Yeah. So that brother, your fucking ass. Oh, your inauguration day. Inauguration day. If your people pile up together again, we will march in your with trailer now. That's not jeep. So we kill your ass and brother will be dead. I snapper will kill your I'm a Tunisian. Can't know him at Kenya. Can't see John. We have photos. We are assholes. Okay. We the one. We kill your ass in there. So I want to call for the fire ass in there, right? Yeah, I don't want kill them. All right.
See that? He has confessed to everything. With more threats.
Yeah.
And who knows if he's even armed? Because there are still a proliferation of arms in the country.
Yeah.
There are still arms. A proliferation of arms in the country is still, there. Who knows what he has? Yeah. For a young man to talk like this, he knows who is behind him. He knows what's backing him. He knows what he got.
I mean, he has, have been involved in other activities, dubious activities.
Yes, that too.
Once, sometimes they are always criminals and things. So obviously, he's not that man. If you check his background, I mean, right now, he's a full-grown adult. He must have 2 or 3 children and things. So he knows what he's talking about, and he's responsible for everything he's talking about. So obviously, the state must take action against him, and that's why, for me, I didn't keep the news on my just in my phone or so. I shared it around. Let those who are even helping us see it, because they are going to be on the ground as well to be part of the day. So for such a person to threaten the significance of the day, I think he shouldn't be also that they say.
But wherein we know we have seen inaugurations taking place, but I have a feeling this inauguration is going to be different. And it's going to be very, very jam packed. Not just by ordinary people, but by dignitaries,
Yeah, of course.
by world leaders. World leaders, the world will be watching. Number one, we've already seen a press conference by the CDC Youth Wing that they will be assembling in an unknown area that day. They had a press conference this week. I listened to it, as many of you. They already had that. On the 22nd, that's why they said they will be assembling to protest. What are they protesting against? They have their own reason. If your protest is peaceful, but if it results in violence, if your protest has an undertone, a different motive to cause chaos and destruction or destruction and the peace of the state, these are all warnings and signs that they are giving to the Liberia joint security system and the national police, the law making body. These are all signs, because my man, God will not come to from heaven and they can't speak in a big voice. Anything that always happens in life, there are always signs.
Yeah.
Indeed. And these are signs that are leading to this. So, but they can be prevented. If you have this mindset, you understand that what's occurring, what's happening, this can be prevented.
Yeah.
Bloodshed can be prevented.
Yeah.
Chaos can be prevented.
Yeah.
Because this is what they want. They want to instill fear in the minds and the hearts of people. So people will be afraid to assemble. People will be afraid to gather in places to jubilate. Right? On that day, so many people are traveling out of Liberia in the diaspora trying to go for this inauguration. But you know, a drop of fear can stop a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is what they're trying to do. Fear. They're trying to instill fear in society. And this is what the electorate saw for the past 6 years. And they say, we are tired with this mess. The people that voted saw it. They experienced it. They say, enough is enough.
Exactly so.
Enough is enough. The threats. Someone feeling that they are demagogues, that they cannot be touched, that they are above the law. When you have a society like that, that is created like that, it is chaos, nothing else. Chaos.
It's sad, Tim. CEO is very, very sad. And, you know, knowing very well that we have come, our country, after 14 years of devastation, and the country was wrecked, destroyed future of many, many generations, reaching to the point now where we need to pick up and move forward positively, to have individuals who will be brainwashed and put in a position to cause, you know, damages and to also harm other people. I think it's regrettable. It's regrettable to me personally, and I think it's also regrettable to even the good friends from other countries who have been helping Liberia as well. Yes. I think the people are now getting frustrated that, you know, they're helping us, but we don't want help.
Exactly.
And this is it is going beyond all the boundaries as well. That even including corruption. That's why America is so angry with us. Why is it that we're getting all the help? The little that we're generating, why we can use it for the benefit of our people, but we take it again from them. So I mean, people have, I mean, they have all right to be angry with us and things. And I think, you know, parents as well. It's just that Sam, I think one thing I noticed again is that the generation of today, uh, they are the ones that actually came have during the war. They were born during the war and thing. So obviously, they never saw, what happened because their mothers and fathers were toting them on their back and running here and there with them, making
You're
sure
right.
that.
You're right. That is so true.
Yeah. So because they never experienced the war, they didn't see it, and they haven't been told the true story of what happened. Or so they have no feeling as to how people felt yesterday. Uh, what they are after is they are stumbling for today. That's it. They don't even have time for future. They don't have time for future. That's why I've been disappointed in the outgoing government. They came to by the help of the young people. Majority of them who voted were all under the age of 30 and give these people power. Come on, man. These guys came. Even one vocational training institution, this party couldn't even sustain, have and sustain. They turned their back on the young people. Scholarship. Not a day I heard that the CDC government sent, 5 people out of Liberia as a party to go and learn, to get prepare themselves for future. So I mean, these young people are all very, very much frustrated. They pretend that we're demonstrating this as a love for George Weah, as a love for CDC, but no, they are just angry because nobody recognized them. They didn't get the piece of the cake, and that
Yeah.
anger is
Yeah.
now they now want to transcend the anger to another person.
To someone who never contributed to that.
No, that's it. Yeah, they want to transfer the anger to the incoming leadership also. I mean, imagine Sam. I mean, there are some of them. The government has not even taking seat. They are saying, "Oh, the government going to fail. The government will be it will be the least government ever to help Liberia and think." Come on, man. What can you wait and think? Now this gentleman,
they're not even getting a government even 1 year or 1 or 2 years at least.
no, but what I'm saying,
the one this magic thing to just take place when Joseph Yuma Bwaga gets there, it should be so magical that everything would just be rosy and turns, winery and green and,
yeah, that's a clear naivety of the generation we have today. The naive, and some of them, sorry for the language, but some of them are behaving very, very stupid because how will you look at something over and over again? Somebody keep undermining you. Somebody keep sitting on your future, but you still keep praising this person here. This is the individual that you can't even get closer to their car, but you still praising the individual. Yeah. This is the person that, the treatment, I mean, that their dog can take. It will take you 2-3 years, so you can have the same treatment. No.
And their actions are destroying your future. Their actions are destroying the society and the community you live in.
Yeah.
And you still want
to
put them.
Yeah, but you are not even getting any crumbs. The crumbs that are dropping, you're not even getting it. But you're knocking your chest. Oh, I am this. I can die for this. And think I can die for this individual. I can die for this party. What kind of stupidness is this? So, I would like to reiterate my call on the transitional team. This young man, is threatening your existence as well. Also testing your power, whether you get power to use as well. This young man must be called by the authority to answer questions. This young man must be invited by the Ministry of Justice to answer questions. Even NSA can get involved because
he needs to be. I think he needs to be arrested right away.
This force. In fact,
just like some of our viewers here mentioned.
The threats, CEO, the threat falls on terrorism act. Let me tell you now.
Yeah.
That's
somebody saying this person that made a statement needs to be identified, arrested ASAP.
Yeah, of course. It's a threat against the state. I must repeat again. It's a threat against the state, and it's a terroristic threat as well. If this, I mean, where you sitting right now, where I am sitting,
Yeah,
if that
it
was
is.
there,
It is a terroristic threat.
it was going. It was going. If it was on this side or over there, it was going to be less than 6 hours. The guy were going to be picked.
Yeah, inciting mass murders. That's mass murder. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
admitting that in fact you caused mass murder as well. So obviously he shouldn't let go free. No way.
When you look at this issue, this whole issue of the sanctions, this is just a beginning, right? You and I already know that this is just the beginning. But when you look at people who are in the confines, in the environment of the president, people who protects the president, causing trouble themselves, the EPS. Let me play this so you see, because I want your comment on this. I know you've seen this video before, but this is a result of what we are talking about, the society we live in. When people think they are above the law.
Watch this video. Like George Floyd in America, were crying, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." This young guy from Grand Cape County was crying, "I want to speak, I want to speak." He and his friends had come to speak against Bear Mountain Company that operates in Grand Cape Mount. The company reportedly takes over 500 million worth of gold every year from Grand Cape Mount. But the people in Cape Mount live in extreme poverty. No safe drinking water. The company polluted their water. They took their land to mine gold, so they have limited means to go and do their farming. Bear Mountain has failed to provide what it promised them, including constructing clinics and providing safe drinking water. But the government just this week agreed to extend Bear Mountain operation in the county for additional 25 years, neglecting the complaint of the people, but not only attempting to kill their children who came to present their argument. The security officer you see stepping on this bald head that is oozing with blood is a member of George Weah Executive Protection Force. But Weah will take no action against this officer. The situation left with the people of Cape Mount. This is how George Weah Security treated your son when he came to speak about the millions of gold the government and Bear Mountain taking out of your county. Watch the video and see how your sons were treated only because they raised a legitimate concern about resources leaving from Grand Cape County and no benefit going to the people.
This is just a piece of it. This is just one aspect. These are just some of the things. Just protesting, peaceful protests, speaking against the injustices, speaking against society, standing up for your people, and people who are supposed to be protecting you, people that are close to the president. I know this is emotional for you, but we have to play. This work within your framework. This is your area. I know it plays a lot with you, Max. I know. But we have to discuss it. This is something. This is the time for justice for those people. For the lives of those people that were lost. Those who show up to protest and were humiliated and wounded. And some lost their lives. Someone has to speak for them.
Yeah.
Someone has to. Because they were doing nothing but the right thing. Israel is fighting a war right now with Hamas. Do you know here in America, people from Palestine stand out peacefully and protest? I just covered a protest here in the U.S. recently. Palestinians speaking against Israel. They say Israel has invaded for what they are doing. Nobody went there and destroyed them. In fact, when I went there that day to cover the protest, the Tulsa Police Department securities were all around on a standby to making sure that the protest is peaceful. But this is beyond the police. These are the executive mansion police, people that protect the president of Liberia. Felt that they are above the law because someone went and stood by the gate side to protest with a sign in their hand. Take the people from our people. They are stealing our gold and diamond. They are destroying our water. We cannot go drinking water. They are putting chemicals into our land and water.
Yeah.
Yeah. What say you?
Tim, yes, I saw the video that day. In fact, I think I was opportune to watch it. I watched the incident live. Somebody captured it live, and immediately I was able to record it at that time, to be able to distribute it via WhatsApp, and I shared the videos to all of my contacts and things. But that video, each time you play it, sometimes you, especially for us as an advocate, you put yourself in the same shoes of that young man,
Yeah.
or you put yourself in the shoes of your own relative to be kicked like that, to be treated like that.
Yeah.
And you begin to wonder as to why would somebody who's supposed to be protecting me treat me like this? You begin to wonder as to whether somebody have just considered you to be a terrorist, or even in the Western world or in the civilized society, even if the terrorist is arrested, they don't treat them like that. And that video, it went wide. The result of what you're seeing today as well on Jefferson Koji is all connected to these acts also. And this is a elite force. Like I was in conversation the last time with His Excellency Jose Nyuma Wakai. This is the elite force for me. I would love to see it going, and I would love for the police, the special police that or the SSS under Totman and Tobot to come back in existence. When the government happened to bring those people back, take them to the police academy, send them abroad, train them to know about even human rights and human rights violations, what would constitute your job. I think it will worthwhile instead of a president, forming their own security apparatus to
Yeah.
say this security apparatus is there to look after the first family also. I don't think it's right. These guys will be indoctrinated by power, and they will feel that they have excessive power as well, and they can use it at any time or so. So they have shown that true colors, this EPS thing. I think, I hope and I pray that the incoming administration of Joseph Nyumabwaka will look into this, learn the experience from this one as well.
Right.
Because you may not be there and they will be doing their thing, but the reflection is coming right on your back as the leader of the country as well. But especially so if you even hear about it and you don't say anything, you don't take a step, then obviously it means that you are also supporting it. But for me, I'm not no longer interested in the elite force to be put together by any president of Liberia, to be honest, because of.
But that is not you're so right, and I agree with that. That is an organization, anyone that protects the government. That should be an entity, a group that should be trained, sent abroad to train, and know just what you say about human rights, and their loyalty is to the state.
Yeah,
their loyalty is to protect the state.
That's it.
And the president. It's not to an individual. It's not to an individual. But I'm afraid that even the very EPAs that are protecting George we are now, if you transfer some of them to protecting the incoming president, I'm a little bit afraid. Their loyalty, most of them, their loyalty is still to George Weah. then you'll be having someone who is an insider, an enemy within.
I agree with you. I agree
That
with
could
you.
be an enemy within.
I do agree with you.
But if you train these guys and you realize that they are only there to protect the president and working in the best interest of the state, when transitions shift, when power change hands, you move to protect that, because that is what the Constitution says. You are there to protect, to stand and work with the Constitution.
Yeah, exactly.
That is what they do here in America. Those guys don't have interest in Joe Biden or Donald Trump or whatsoever. Once, according to law, the people voted and the power shift, they move the shift. You're not important to them no more.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's how it is. And I don't know if our EPS at that high agency, respectable agency, understand that though. What type of training are they getting? Are these guys going overseas? Are they being sent overseas to train? Not to learn better, to know more, because only when you know, then you will do better.
Yeah.
That's
You're
it.
right.
Because this video right there, these are the EPS, the people that protect the president, killing somebody on video.
Yeah. Somebody who voted yesterday for even the president to come to power.
Yeah.
The person you're killing today or so. And for me, obviously, in addition, but what I said, I know definitely, even the EPS director, Trukon Roberts, I reached out to him that time, and I wanted us to have meeting. Unfortunately, he promised several times. We never met or so. I just wanted to raise the issue with him as well. But this is it. When we came to power, most of the guys, they were never ever enforced like that. No, they never took training to be. They just rewarded them with jobs. They just reward them because their family member is in the government. We are himself, as a family, and all the other ministers and things.
Not on competency. Who knows you?
Yeah, they just decided to put the elite force together, and then people send their brothers, their sisters there to be there without even proper training, without even going to police academy for months. They just for some of them, when they went there for a couple of days and teach them how to use the weapon, the pistol they have, and and think that's all, because they know definitely when it comes to self-defense. I mean, they are only going to be dealing with the small people. And if you say that presidential guys here, you yourself will be afraid to even get closer to them. So they thought that they never needed any advanced training, which even constitute knowing about the human rights aspects of your job. They have no idea about the human rights issue. So that's why they were treating people like that. And I'm vehemently against any formation of elite force to name and then style as presidential guard or so. I think we need to go back to those days. With the children, we saw police dressing in complete white uniform, white shirt, really good white shirt and good blue khaki trouser or so, and they were referred to as the Special Security Service, so SSS. And these people were were trained. In fact, majority of them they were already in the police, and they only went for advanced training to make sure that they provide the security that is needed to the executive mansion. And we never used to hear all of this nonsense. You never see them treating human being like this. No. So I really don't buy this idea of government coming in and forming their own elite forces also. That's the reason we saw all of this as well. Like most of those boys, Nathaniel McGill came out and he formed what he referred to as pocket palm brigade. And the pocket palm brigade, he had these guys that they recruited, and then from there, all of them were just loyal to the party and loyal to them. So they decided to use, and majority of them, they did the training. The EPS guy, they did the training right behind the BTC there on the beach and thing. And that's how they recruited them, all of them, and put them in the force there, and they call themselves EPS and things. But but that's the kind of a country you will get. The kind of a rewards you will get as well when you have an inept leadership, when you have leaders who have, or when you have people in power calling themselves leaders, but they have no idea as what leadership is actually. That's why that the result. That's why you get CEO.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, why we are where we are today. That's why we're seeing all these sanctions coming. And I can tell you, even right after the part of the leadership will be shifted on the 22nd of January, if it will be on that day. Once that power is shifted, many people will be dragged by the United States government again.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe it too. I believe it. More sanctions supposed to be coming. That is true because it's not just Koji. It's not just Nathaniel McGill.
No,
It's not just Bill Traore
no,
and the likes, but more will be coming. More sanctions, and because uh, that should tell you that what you have been experiencing, Liberians have been experiencing over the last 6 years, has not been pleasant. Only only few people
yeah,
enjoy enjoy the resources of the state, enjoy the taxpayers' money. Only few people, and you don't run government like that and expect yourself to succeed.
never,
When you empower individuals instead of empowering institutions and strengthening institutions, of government, you go the other way around. You set yourself up for failure, and that is what the WIA-led government has done. They empower, few people. They appointed people. They felt that were loyal to them. Not on competency. Once you were loyal, you can shout the loudest muya muya muya. You know, you one of them. And that is why I think talking about the EPS normally the security apparatus you talk about, that is a very good way to go about selecting members of the executive mansion to protect the president. People who have worked in different security apparatus of the government and they have performed highly. They
yeah,
already are in a know when it
yeah,
comes to the law.
mm,
So you just handpick the best from those different divisions of the military, the police, the
yeah,
NSA, whatever, and just put them together and train them, make them better because they're already aware.
yeah,
They already have some sort of knowledge. They know that their loyalty is to the president and the state to protect the president and the state. They will behave. But some of those guys right now, my man, you go in some of those clubs or entertainment areas, you will know. Just
yeah,
Liberian man talking, say, EPS man, at night.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you mess around, they want to deal with you. Because
Yeah,
they got a gun on their side,
they don't even
undercover.
have, yeah, they don't hide. No,
Yeah.
that's
So
it.
I mean, I hope the Barker administration would take keen attention to that, so that way his life would be well protected. Don't just sit down there, you person, you say, I ain't going here. Oh." They say God they can be bathing you and you be rubbing your stomach small, small. So God can be protecting you, protect yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
is it, Ome Barker.
Having helped those who
You got
help
to
them.
take it serious. Security apparatus of our country has to be taken very seriously.
Very, very.
Yeah, our 2 hours time is over. We right here down the wire with 5 minutes. What's your last comment with regards of all the events today? So that way we can take leave of our viewers.
Yeah, we can say a big thank you for to our followers, our viewers, and our listening audience. Thank you for your support. Thanks to those of you who commented as well, and sorry to that perhaps we couldn't put all of you in the picture. But you know, as our lawmakers were certificated today, I believe the certification went okay, and there are a lot of lobbying going on now for the speaker position and deputy speaker position and president pro tem as well. For me, I only want to caution the lawmakers to actually not put money ahead of everything, a brown envelope ahead of everything, but I think you should put people there who have credibility, who at least they have no tinted characters as well. Some of the names that are coming up, including Fanatic Kofa. My understanding, he deported from the USA due to criminal activities or so, and he's one of those that can't even easily let's say go to America as well.
Yeah.
And
But before you even close on, well, let me have you finish your closing. Then I'll make my own comment, because you're picking my mouth again with another whole topic. I don't even want to get inside.
so, I'm concerned about that, but hopefully another time we can discuss that. So thank you so much for that this evening.
Oh, fanatic over thing. And this is the integrity of the institutions, the people who put in power. This is what we want. This is what the people need to see. This is what America is driving the Liberian people to see. That when you put someone in power, in a position of power, they don't have limitation, right? Fanatic over here, he's doing a lot in the country. He's a lawmaker. He's like an octopus now. From those that know, his hands is all over the place. He's a lawyer for the government. He's a lawyer for Joe Weir. He's a lawyer for a lot of entities over there. And then he wants to be the Speaker of the House, where everything, when he made decision at it, right? When you put someone in that kind of position, you are heading for chaos. You're heading for trouble, because you want a house that is not tied down. The Speaker is not tied down. Don't have personal interest, because it is not in all cases or whatever or proceedings that comes to the floor that he's gonna cave in and say, I have personal interest, so I will not be a part of it. Recuse himself. He will not, especially when he knows that he has a lot of good interest in it. He won't recuse himself. He will set the agenda. That is what's going to happen. These guys don't care if they travel out of the U.S. or not. As long as they have those opportunities to steal, to keep squandering, those opportunities to enrich themselves, they don't care if they travel out of, they come to the U.S. or not.
Yeah.
They don't care. So but we just want our people to realize that integrity matters. It brings that to the institution that you represent. You cannot have a foreign minister who will come to America and not travel in other states to negotiate on behalf of Liberia.
Yeah.
Who is afraid that if he does that, he will get arrested? The man who's supposed to be the mouthpiece for your country. That's a problem. Those are not the kind of leaders that we should be electing or putting in power.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
When will we learn that, though, as a nation, as a people? Because these are institutions, are positions. You know, tell me now, how are you going to appoint a minister of finance? I'm just making an example. Who will not be able to go to the World Bank to go negotiate?
Yeah.
Or to the United Nations,
Yeah.
or to other countries. That's what I'm saying. You want a finance minister or a foreign affairs minister, one who is not tied down. Who is not tied down to a tree, but one who can go, who understands the diplomatic inner workings and be able to shine your country flag.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what we want. That's why we are here, folks. So thank you. Thank you so much, all of you that follow us tonight.
Indeed.
In the comfort of your homes. Tomorrow we'll be having the 2 shows. Tomorrow, actually, we'll be doing the politics during the daytime. I think around 1 o'clock, 12 or 1 o'clock. I'll send you the link. And also by 10 p.m. Liberian time is our Kissy show, as always. We had a Kissy show being done twice a week, which was Friday and Saturday. That was during the heat of the elections. But now that elections are over, we've gone back to our normal broadcasting, which is every Saturday at 10 p.m. Liberian time. So 10 p.m. Liberian time, wherever you are, wherever location you are in the US or in Europe, you just need to adjust your own time. For me, it's 6 hours difference right now because of the time change. So we'll be here. A lot of good things to talk about. And of course, Sunday by 2 p.m., which is 8 o'clock Liberian time, will be the gospel hour here. So folks, follow us, share us, like us, and we'll always love to have you. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you so much. JMB, the election is over. However, it is time to implement. It is time to think Liberia, love Liberia, build Liberia. Until then, I'll catch you guys. We'll see.
From drugs and brain drain. Rescue. From poverty